Most beginners fail on Pinterest before they even upload their first pin, and that's not because Pinterest is hard. It's always because they choose the wrong niche. Any of these niches that I'm going to tell you in today's video, you are 100% going to kill your account if you are starting out, and maybe if you've already have an active account, you need to change niches or build a new account. Today, I'm going to show you 3 of the niches that kill beginners' account every single year, including the one niche that everyone swears by, but I would highly recommend you avoid. If you're starting out making money on Pinterest in 2026, you need to watch this video to the end. Let's get into it. So these are the 3 Pinterest niches that will destroy a new account in 2026. I'm going to share with you the reasons for, the reasons against, and I'm also going to give you some of the niches that you probably should start if you're starting on Pinterest in 2026 and you want to hit the ground running. Now, just to be super clear, I have my own Pinterest accounts, I have client accounts, I have joint venture accounts, and I have a wide variety and a quite intensive knowledge of which niches work and which niches don't, just by testing them all out myself. So believe me when I say you want to watch this video all the way to the end. And also, just so you know, I do have a new Pins to Profit Academy. This is a new community that I've set up, and I will show you exactly how to set up your Pinterest accounts from the start, how to set up your website, and all the strategic information that you need to earn serious passive income from Pinterest, all in one place in the community. Right now, there's a 7-day free trial, so feel free to sign up. Let's carry on. So today we're going to talk about something that ruins most new accounts on Pinterest, and that generally is picking the wrong niche, okay? If you get this wrong from the beginning, you're just kind of doomed to not see progress, because this is where most of the work should really go into at the beginning, and that's picking the correct niche. Now, many of the popular niches have high search volumes, everyone kind of uses them, and it may look good for beginners especially, but I'm going to show you in this video, in this short video, why I think that's probably a mistake. That's because usually they don't help you grow, and some niches actually kill your reach before you even get started. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 worst niches in 2025 and in 2026. So let me just quickly clarify. Before we begin, I need to say this. High search volume does not always mean easy growth, okay? That's usually a beginner mistake that most people make. Just because something has super high impressions every single month, okay? The general niche, so for example, fashion, for example, hair, it doesn't always mean it's a very good niche to go into for someone that's starting out. Now, many of the high search topics on Pinterest are usually the hardest for new accounts, and obviously that's because there's just too much competition, okay? There's an overload with content, there's full of accounts that have been there for years, so you're fighting against those. They are heavily filtered because, as you can imagine, the more impressions, the more pins, the more algorithmic updates that need to go ahead and clean those out and filter those out, so there's just more algorithmic updates. And of course, that all just means it's super difficult to rank in. So high search doesn't always mean high potential. Let's get into the 3 worst niches, okay? So first of all, niche number 1 is the quotes and motivation niche, okay? So I do have a account, well, I did have an account in the quotes and motivation niche, and I have first-hand data of why I don't think this really makes sense for people to start out on, even though there's a ton of searches, okay? So let me go on to pinclicks.com, which is a paid search tool that I use that gives me volume data and give you some of the data for quotes and motivation. So this is pinclicks.com. This is the keyword explorer. If you want to use the tool and you think that it's valuable, which I use all the time, there's a link below this video. Feel free to check it out. So you can see on the side here, this is the volume data for the keywords on the left-hand side. We have some related information. We can also go into the top pins here, okay? But today I'm not going to go through that. So what I'm trying to show you here is the volume, okay? Millions and millions of monthly people are searching for quotes, different motivational quotes, different biblical quotes or Islamic quotes, as it says here, so religious-based. Quotes on love, quotes about life, just in general quotes, okay? This is a really good and popular niche, okay? I'm not saying that there isn't value here. There's tons of value here. The issue is there's a high amount of search volume, and that doesn't always mean clicks for you. Let me explain. So the niche itself looks super simple. I actually enjoy the niche. Off of Pinterest, I have a ton of quotes that I follow on Instagram, for example. It's really cool. Okay, super inspiring. But there's a trap here, and this is because Pinterest does suppress quote pins because in general, they're really repetitive, okay? Many times people are going to say the same things about waking up in the morning and feeling happy, which for you as a user is fantastic, but for you as a creator and on a business account, sometimes you're going to get suppressed. In general, that always still does mean that it's generally quite low value in terms of the same things being repeated over and over again. And the most important thing is it doesn't really drive many clicks, okay? First-hand experience for this particular niche. So that means you might get impressions, super good, okay? There's a ton of niches on Pinterest. This is one of them that gives you super high impressions, okay? So it can seem like your account is growing really well. But in general, in my experience, you're not going to get much traffic. And the traffic that you do have may not have the highest RPMs, okay? For obvious reasons, people are hitting your blog page, for example. They're reading some quotes and then they're going on to the next one. So in general, without traffic, you're never really going to grow. So in my opinion, for the quotes and motivation niche, I would avoid it as a beginner, even as a seasoned professional for those reasons. Niche number 2 Fitness, and also things like dieting, things like weight loss, etc. All of those fit within the fitness bracket and the fitness niche on Pinterest. Now, I don't need to really give it an introduction. Fitness is probably top two of the search volumes in general on the internet. Everyone needs to keep fit. But let me give you some reasons why I don't think fitness will work well for you as a beginner on Pinterest or as someone that has an established account. So pop back over to Pinclicks and I'm looking at the search volume. So you can see it's in around the 100,000 monthly searches for the fitness keywords. Also, I can put in weight loss here. So there is lots of volume here in general. However, fitness does get searched, as I mentioned before. And as you can see, there's some really cool pins for fitness, but it's quite bad for beginners, okay? This is the reasons why. So Pinterest is very strict with the fitness content that they show. And they don't really have really good filters for stock photos. So if you are going to go down the fitness route, it's probably best that you do maybe some of the fitness pictures yourself, use your Instagram images, etc. Also, they're going to get flagged by the AI. That's not technically a bad thing, but it just means you're going to have to be kind of fighting uphill. And also, this is super important. Sometimes the before and after photos are restricted, which means the biggest impressions and the biggest reach and the biggest reasons why people click on your pins are going to be restricted by Pinterest. That's just in the algorithm updates itself. And sometimes the workout graphics can look a little bit repetitive, okay? Now, a caveat to that is fitness does convert in terms of your RPMs, okay? So when people do hit your website, you're going to get paid quite well for those ads. Again, but in my opinion, in general, if you look at the landscape of Pinterest, you look at where all the volume goes, although fitness does get some good volume around the internet, in my opinion, it's not the great for Pinterest because most people aren't really on Pinterest looking for fitness related quotes, motivational tips, or even strategies. That's more for maybe YouTube, potentially Instagram. Usually on Pinterest, they are there to browse and share things, but fitness doesn't really hit those high RPMs, high impression, and shareable content. So as I mentioned, there's lots of competition. This niche does work against new accounts, and unless you have original photos, probably best to skip the fitness niche just for Pinterest itself. Now, niche 3 is generic home decor. Now, this may seem like a surprise because in general, home decor is one of the best niches on Pinterest for many, many reasons. It's got really, really high search volumes. It's got really good evergreen content and people do click through. So it's got a high click-through rate. However, this can apply to probably many niches, but if you aim for just the generic, huge search volume keywords like living rooms, kitchen ideas, dining room ideas, you're never going to see any traffic, okay? Here's why. So as you can see, back onto Pinclicks, we are looking at some of the home decor keywords. Kitchen ideas, bedroom ideas, wallpaper ideas. They just get millions and millions of searches every single month on Pinterest. Specifically right now, I think wallpapers are doing quite well. So that is an idea that you could maybe see, and you'd see it on Pinterest trends too. And you think, fantastic, there's 11 million people searching for black wallpaper. Let me create some black wallpaper posts, okay? But there's a caveat. This niche is brutal for beginners, especially if you're going to search for those massive keywords that I mentioned, because these broad terms like living room ideas, bedroom inspirational ideas, aesthetic rooms, they're just dominated by massive blogs, okay? Really, really good designers, people that have been around for a very, very long time, and also people that aren't using AI content, okay? And in general, although there's nothing wrong with my examples and experience with using AI content, if you have really good pins and they go to actual lifestyle content and lifestyle posts, you're going to get a better click-through rate and you're going to get a higher RPM, okay? So people will stay on your page for longer and you'll make more money. So as I mentioned, really, really good to go into in terms of home decor if you're going to go narrow, but not so much if you're going to go broad. In my opinion, I would say stay away from really, really competitive niches at the beginning. So home decor is going to be one of those, but only if you're going to go for broad keywords. If you're going to go for narrow keywords, then I would say do this instead, okay? So this is what I'd recommend you do instead. The secret for me is going micro, so going narrow, and then you can probably get away with going for those broader keywords and those broader niches. So in general, if you're a beginner and you're starting out, or even if you have an existing account, then I'll go for specific topics that you can actually rank for. Similar to search engine optimization, because Pinterest does have an algorithm attached to it. So if you go narrower, you should see more reach. So for example, instead of like home decor or living room ideas, you're going to go for like sage green bedroom ideas, okay? Instead of just hairstyles, you want to go for like spring hairstyles, or maybe even narrow it down, spring blonde hairstyles, honey blonde hairstyles, for example. Instead of just recipes, dinner recipes, you want to go for comfort recipes. I would even go further than that and say comfort recipes for families, etc. And the point I'm trying to make is the more narrow you go, the more realistic it is that you're going to see traffic and the more realistically that you're going to rank. So that's what I'd do if I was starting again from scratch and I was going into any competitive niche. But in general, those three that I've mentioned, I'll definitely, there's three that I've mentioned in this video, stay away from, because you're probably going to get buried with all the other accounts, okay? So look for niches that have less competition, has higher click-through rates, and grows faster. If you want to know specifically what those are and you want me to kind of help you specifically, as I mentioned before, go into my Pins to Profits Academy. Pop over to Pins to Profit Academy, sign up here, okay, right now, free trial for 7 days. I can share with you exactly what's working with my personal accounts. I can look at your account, review it, and we can go and jump on a live call and you can ask me any questions that you want. This is all included in the community, plus I have my own live case studies that I'm just starting up right now, so this is the perfect time to jump on. Link in the description. So look, start the right way. If you want the full niche breakdown, as I mentioned before, the keyword clusters, all the complete systems that I use that drives millions and millions of impressions, then join the community. You've just seen it there, the Pins to Profit Academy. You're going to get a free 7-day trial, and inside the classroom, I built full niche research models. Right now there's 3, and I think each blueprint has around 6 or 7 modules, so there's over like 6 or 7 hours just of information on strategy and how I create my accounts up until the point where I'm actually monetizing those with ads or potentially affiliate. So that's all included with your membership. You have AI tools inside there, you have templates, and you have the exact systems that I use for my clients and for my own accounts. That's all included in the academy, okay? If you want me and my team to build everything for you, so instead of you doing it yourself, me and my team can do it for you. I have an agency. The niche, the boards, the content, the keywords, and all automation. Feel free to check out my other Pinterest service below. That's pretty much it for today's video. I hope it's been a good one. Feel free to add any questions and comments in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.